Hello, this is Mindy from Camping Earth, and today I'm going to show you how to properly put a fire out, much like Smokey the Bear would do. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need your 2 water pails that we described in the video on how to properly and safely build a fire. You are also going to need a shovel and some type of stick such as this by which you can poke the fire with. This is actually just an old handle from a tool like a shovel. So the first part of this process that you're going to do is you're going to look at your clothing that you have on before you start getting involved with the fire. You want to make sure that you don't have any clothing that's flammable or will melt. The next thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that the fire has gotten down to coals. Now you can stop a fire with much bigger logs, but it's much better to let the fire cook down to this point. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to place some water on it. Now as you can tell, I didn't just throw the water on it. I gradually poured some on that, and that way I didn't get hot ash jumping back up on me and burning me. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to poke around the fire. What I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to pull up any hot coals that may remain. And I'm going to repeat the water step several times. And as we stated in the video before, you need at least 4 of these water buckets around your fire. And I'm going to continue with this process, poking and turning the coals, making sure I get any coals that are still hot up to the surface. Now, since you already have the water, it's a good idea just to go ahead and use it, even if you think you don't need it. Prevention is worth a pound of cure, I say. And then continue to stir the coals. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to place your hand approximately 4 inches above the coals. This is a safe way of testing to see if the coals are still hot. If you cannot leave your hand in that position for the count of 5, or you burn your hand, you'll need to repeat the water step. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's perfectly cool to the touch at that step. The next step of the process is you can either use soil or you can use cold ash. And you're going to bury the coals that you have just extinguished. Now what this step does is it actually suffocates the fire. Any coals that still may be hot will be suffocated by this step. The last thing that I like to do is pour one last bit of water on top of that. And that's all there is to properly extinguishing a fire. So this year, don't choose to be a firebug. Choose to follow these steps to prevent forest fires. Until we meet on the path again, this has been Mindy from Camping Earth.